Hey On The Clock fans, you're listening to another episode with your hosts Raul Lascano and George Martinez as they square off and tackle all of today's hot topics in sports news, trends, current issues happening locally and nationally, as well as highlighting some of our local student athletes across the Sunshine State. Now, welcome your hosts, Raul Lascano and George Martinez. You're on the clock.
Welcome everybody to another episode of On the Clock. Hope everybody had a great Father's Day yesterday. We have an exciting agenda for you today. Today we have YSR Stephen Costa joins the show to talk about how he's changing the game in the youth sports. Also, we have my dude Andres Borregales, 5-star kicker down south in Miami. I know Raul was excited to be talking to him. He's a commit to University of Miami.
Yes, sir. Yes,
we
sir.
have him on the show. You're in for a great run here. So, Raul, how was your Father's Day weekend? How was it all?
Man, it was pretty good, man. It was had a great time yesterday with the family and spending time with those guys. And I'm going to tell you what, my family's they're kooks. They all have their own personality. Got some pretty cool stuff, gifts-wise, for the podcast. So, it was a good day yesterday, man. What about yours? How was yours, man?
It was great. I got to spend time with the kids, the wife, breakfast in bed this morning. I was pretty pumped about it.
Ooh.
So I'm a big corned beef hash fan.
Really? Corned beef hash?
There's not many of us out there.
Yeah, it's like a small community.
When I told the wife about it, she kind of looked at me sideways and said, really?
Yeah, like
corned beef hash? That's what you want for
breakfast? I don't even know what section in Walmart that's at. I don't know
it's in the ethnic side, okay? It's in the ethnic side.
I mean, sure.
Anyhow, so corned beef hash with eggs mixed in together.
Nice.
It's a great breakfast.
Yeah.
My daughter brought it up in bed with the little tray that she colors on.
Oh man!
But it was great. Enjoyed that and spent time with the fam. Went to the pool, relaxed for a little bit, and then came back and enjoyed some good dinner and talked to our Jefferson staff about the week that's going to be, and it was a good time.
Yeah, man. I had same thing here, man. I didn't get breakfast in bed. I mean, I got a farmer's breakfast, which was freaking amazing. If you don't know what a farmer's breakfast is, it's eggs, chopped up onions, potatoes, sausage mixed in stuff. Oh my God, it puts you to sleep, bro. I had 2 helpings. I woke up at 2:00 in the afternoon. I was
there
like,
you go.
what the hell
That's
happened?
a great day.
Yeah, it was great.
That's a great day.
It was great. But I needed that after what happened on Friday. Okay.
Yeah. Tell me what happened on Friday.
So I didn't get a chance to talk to you about this, but I want you to understand what happened to me. And I was waiting for the podcast to tell you, okay? On Friday, I've decided to, and I don't know, I got this wild kick. Said, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to lift some weights. At my job, they have a weight room upstairs, right?
Okay.
The weight room is nothing fancy. It is a sweat box made from one of the Rocky Balboa movies. This thing is freaking a sweat box waiting to happen. There's no freaking fans. There's no ventilation. It's just old school dumbbells, bench press, hard plate weights, not that rubber stuff. Yeah, not that rubber stuff you see.
Like you're talking about that 1940s weight gym.
Right, the ones you drop.
No AC, no nothing. You got fans playing.
Yeah,
that's all you got in there.
Exactly. You got AC/DC playing in the freaking music. Like it's hard rock. Like, and when you drop these weights, everybody hears it. You break a foot. Like
everybody.
Yeah. This is not safety concerned, right? So I'm thinking to myself, I'm gonna lift some weights on Friday. Not to mention, I've been watching the spikes that have been going all along. So I want to lift some weights. I'm like, you know what? This Father's Day weekend, let me lift some weights. I get in this weight room and I take my shirt off, and don't get me wrong, I'm not naked or anything. I have another shirt on. I got a towel.
Thank goodness for that.
Yeah, thank goodness. You don't want to see
for that.
Right, I'm trying to work out, so everything's flopping everywhere. So we got to make sure I keep a shirt on just in case. Okay,
keep everything okay.
Right, keep everything tight. So then I sanitize, I wipe down, I've got all the stuff down, and I'm gonna lift weights, bro. I put on 135. Okay, 135 is
on the bench.
On the bench. On the bench.
On the bench.
On a Friday.
The bench.
I just want to tighten up the chest. That's all I want to do. I just want to tighten it up.
Okay.
And I'm thinking to myself, okay, let me put 135 on. It's an easy warm up weight. It's super easy. It's a 45-pound plate on each side. That's it. The bar is 45, so it all totals out to 135. I get the bar. Right, and I did like a little, I don't know if you see this, but I did like a little type on my chest. That's what I did.
Yeah, you get yourself hyped up.
And I want the listeners to hear that. Like I patted I don't care if you lift weights, you're a true weightlifter, you give yourself the pat on the chest.
A 1-2. You give yourself a 1-2 ready to go.
I'm in it. This is me. I'm ready to go. So I grab this damn thing and I pick it up and I put it up and I'm like, all right, bring it to the chest. Boom, that's 1. And as I'm going up, I realized, 135 never felt like this before.
Never felt this way.
No,
oh, no.
Never felt this way, bro. As I brought it back down, it literally sits on my chest.
It got stuck?
It got freaking stuck. This is 135,
no.
so everybody's listening to this is probably laughing in their car like, what a
This
weakling.
guy can't push 135.
I can't get this thing up. I can't move it. And I'm starting to get scared. I'm freaking out a little bit.
Quarantine's got you bad.
Oh, my God. I thought, I cannot be this out of shape. There's no way. So, bro, I'm struggling to get this freaking thing up. I have begun dry humping the air. I am driving my hips up in the air. I am dry
Is
humping.
anyone up there with you?
There's nobody. All I have on.
Nobody.
Bro, all I have is my AirPods, my cell phones and another bench playing music through my AirPods, okay? And I'm trying to get this thing off, and I cannot get it off. I look to my left like in just confusion. What the hell is going on? When I look to my left,
right now?
right, when I look to my left, some a-hole left resistant bands around the bar,
no.
pulling
no.
it down to the floor. And it's bolted. I haven't seen this before. I'm like, well, you cannot be kidding me. And on the side of that little resistance band, it says 50 pounds.
Oh, man.
So I look to my right.
So add 100.
Yeah, I looked to my right. The same band is over there. I'm like, is this 235 sitting on my
You're
chest?
pushing
Right?
235.
On no warm up, bro. It's sitting on my chest, and now I am humping the air as violently as I can possibly, trying to get this damn thing off my chest. And Siri saves my life, or I thought she did. I start screaming, Siri, Siri, hey Siri. All of a sudden I hear the greatest voice I've ever heard in my life was Siri's voice. Yes, how can I help you? Please call Jose. It's one of my guys that's downstairs. Please call Jose. Help me. Calling Jose.
Please.
This thing, she starts ringing the phone. He picks up. What's up, boss? What are you doing? Hey, man, come upstairs. I need you really quick.
I need you.
Right
I need
now.
you.
You don't know how much emergency is. He goes, no problem. Hangs up the phone. I had thoughts of trying to roll it, but I was like, if this thing goes in my neck, I'm done.
If it gets on your throat, you're done.
Oh, I'm done. I can't push it down to my legs or my waist because the bands are pulling. I am literally stuck like this. The only thing I start noticing is I think I can unclip the band.
The band.
There's like this little quick release, which I'm hoping this is what it was invented for. I slide my hand, I do some funky little dance, slide my hand over, click it. The whole thing falls over to the right.
Till it's over to the other side.
And then it tilted to the left. As that happens, I rack the weight. I sit up with the reddest face you can imagine. Sweat is pouring, dripping off my beard. Jose comes and goes, do you need anything, boss? You know what, bro? I just want to make sure you take your lunch today.
Way to play it off.
I didn't want to tell nobody. I couldn't tell nobody. I caught up the courage to tell you just now. I was scared for my life.
So what we learned from the story
don't live by yourself.
A, don't live by yourself. 2,
Yes.
check the weights. And 3, chest taps doesn't always hype you up as much as it needs to hype you up.
Number 4, take Siri with you.
Take
Siri with you. If this was an Android, I would have a problem. And remember, I told you.
You would have a problem.
Oh, yeah.
Have a problem.
I'm done. But I did this because, now, George, I saw the spikes that were happening in Hillsborough County and around the United States. I thought, let me take some of these immune boosters. Let me go work out a little bit. Let me just do that thing. And come find out, I mean, have you seen the news lately?
It's been crazy. It's been crazy.
How many teams have the Bucks now?
The Bucks had a couple.
Right.
Report from ESPN.com was at least 2 players and 1 or 2 staff members tested positive.
Right.
You got Kent State reported 14 athletes.
And I hope our guy Joshua Youngblood's good. We got to reach out to him and make sure he was good. He said he was good, but they had to shut down the program. I mean, that's crazy.
And the big one that made the headlines was Clemson.
Yep. Clemson had
23 kids. 23 kids tested positive.
Oh, man. So here's my question to you. You're on the clock. Here's my question. Do we have sports? Does sports happen in the fall, man?
My take on this entire thing here is I think the sports that generate revenue are going to play. The sports that don't generate revenue, your youth sports, even high school sports, may see a delayed process, may see a spring league, in essence, where we play a full season, but it won't be till January. At that time, maybe a vaccine is created at that point,
right,
where it allows our players to actually play the game in a safely manner. But until then, it's going to be tough for us to play.
I agree, man. And it's not looking very promising. It's not looking very good, especially with all these spikes and programs. It's not looking very good. And it's going to suck for these high school kids. that need to get film put on. They got to go send out their recruitment, and it's for all sports, right? For baseball, basketball, all that stuff, man. Not just football. It's going to suck for these kids here, man. So it's going to be a rough bit, man. You guys stick around on the break. After, we're going to have two of our very special guests. We're going to have YSR very own creator, Steve Costa. He has developed a program that's going to change youth football and how you find youth football. Also, I'm super excited. We're going to have a five-star athlete kicker out of Miami, Andres Bogales.
First one on the show.
I can't wait.
First 5-star on the show.
First
I can't
five-star
wait.
guy, and he's a Miami guy, so you know I love it even more. I can't wait to have him and talk to him. It's going to be an exciting show. Remember, stay tuned. We'll be right back after the break. You're on the clock. Hey, what's going on the clock, radio fans, man? Listen, I got something major for you guys, okay? If you're looking to start a podcast, you're looking to get intro of music, I need you to hit up my guy, okay, Jay Scudder. Jay Scudder is the one that helped us develop the intro to our show. He's the one that developed this production. I'm telling you right now, he got very creative with it. It's called Inch in the Yard Productions.
So you can send him an email at jscudder@gmail.com. You can find him on Facebook by searching Inch in a Yard Productions. You can also find him on IG, on Instagram, by simply searching Inch in a Yard Productions. All right, so next up on the show here on the Clock Radio, we have our good friend Steven Costa from YSR Sports. Steve, welcome to the show.
What's going on, buddy? How you been, man?
Been well. Thank you for having me. I really appreciate you guys letting me be on today. I really do.
Oh, of course, man. Of course. We had to have you on, especially after everything that you're going to be revolutionizing youth sports. So we had to have you here, man.
So Steve, we're going to jump right into it here. I know that what you have going on here is going to change how people search youth sports, how people find great organizations to take their kid across the United States. So I know me, I have a 4-year-old. She's about to enter sports. Raul, I know you have a couple of older ones that are in youth sports right now.
Yep. Absolutely.
So, for me, as being a young father, my kid's 4 years old. I'm looking for that organization now. And, from our conversation, you've developed a software, a website where people can go to it directly, type in their zip code, find out what organizations are near them. So I want to turn over to you. Tell us a little bit more about it. How can people find it? What is it good for, and how is it going to change the youth sports game?
One of the things that we're trying to do is leverage technology to improve our life when it comes to youth sports. Right. Being in technology, I try to leverage, what we do in terms of how applications, how we communicate, how we send messages, how we even order food. Yeah. And being involved in sports, I've been coaching football since 1994, and I've coached many different age groups from youth all the way up to high school and so forth. And so many times parents, they've always asked me, hey, what's a good program to put my child? And I try to give them the best advice based on my experience. But I've noticed that sometimes there's information out there and there's many different places to go. And having 2 children that participate in youth sports, I have to go to this site or this app for this, and then go to this site and this app for that. And then many times what's happening is we actually missed some information regarding my other child because we just didn't know. And so I figured maybe being a technologist and being someone involved in sports, if I can combine that to create a central repository where people can do review and research of the programs prior to registering their child, or understanding when and where to go, how much it is to do before they make a commitment. Because what we do for our children, I'm sure you guys are the same way. We want to give them all the things that we didn't have. We want to give them a better environment, a better life. So I looked at it and I said, hey, I don't see anything else out there like that. So our site offers review and research information of all youth sports, when to sign up, where to sign up. It even offers information of turning, like, if you need a private coach, because let's say your child is starting to excel and you want to give him that little extra training or the little extra one-on-one development, we have that capability as well also.
So what you're saying is, because, one of the things that bothered me recently was I had a buddy that lives in a certain area here locally in Tampa, and I sent him to an organization. I was like, hey, this is down the street from your house. This is where you want to go. Well, they ended up merging with another organization. They moved. So my buddy went out there ready to sign up because, George, there's no one here. What happened? I had no idea, because again, it's been a few months since I talked about it at that youth organization. So with your website here, I could have just told them, hey, go visit the website, type in your zip code, and boom, right there it populates all the information they're going to need to know, contact information, registration fees. Now, what sports are you covering? Because I know we're all involved in football, but I mean, nationally, there's 6, 7, 8 major sports that kids are pretty involved in. So talk us through what exactly the sports are going to be available on your site.
So, you bring up two really valid points. And one of the things I want to go back to is you talked about, let's say if a team merges. So one of the things I feel to enable technology to be different is to make it self-sufficient, or make it a way that the programs or the organization, so in the situation where these two merged, the programs are going to have the ability to go in and update themselves.
Wow.
So if two programs do merge, or if there's a new registration date, they'll be able to update it themselves. So naturally, we are going to use technology to poll and do artificial intelligence and machine learning to grab a lot of information. But again, it's only as good as the algorithm. So if there is something we may miss, the programs are going to have the ability to search and add information in there as well. And then you mentioned, youth sports. I knew when I grew up, a boy from New York, and I'm a little bit of an old guy, there was 4 major sports. We had football, baseball, soccer, basketball. That was pretty much it. And every season would kind of rotate. Today, especially where we live down here in Florida and the way we are communicating on the internet, there's over 20 different youth sports that the children have access to. So we have everything on our website, from football to hockey to even special needs children.
Wow. Okay.
That's awesome, man.
That's incredible.
That's awesome. And for the site, for me, just so you know, like, I'm a prior military member. I served in the Air Force 15 years, and we moved around a lot. And like a lot of military families, these families have children that want to play youth sports. And I know when I moved from place to place, it was hard to find youth sports in the sense of, okay, where am I going to go? Should I go here? Should I go there? Where are these locations? A lot of these youth teams across, and it's crazy, but a lot of them are not even registered online where you can go find them. You really have to be inside the community and start trying to network with people to try to figure out where to go. So this is going to change everything with youth sports.
It's a one-stop shop.
It really is, man. It really is. And I can see people just getting behind this and being able to log in. I mean, it's like you said when we talked before, it's the Yelp of youth sports, trying to figure out where you're going and how to get your kid involved into these programs. And also, do you have? I know you said major sports, but are you going to have like gymnastics or cheerleading on there as well on these sites, or that's to come?
No, so right now, so the site that we have up there currently, as of today, is list many sports. But the many sports that are there is because our database has grown tremendously. So the site technically can't handle what's out there because that's how quick we're growing. So we're launching on July 4th.
Yes.
And July 4th, we're going to have all these different programs. So sports including gymnastic, cheering, martial arts, hockey, field hockey, roller hockey, ice hockey,
there's so much.
Football, tackle football, 7-on-7 football. Yeah. I mean, you name it, all these different programs. And then on top of that, we're creating, as you mentioned, this Yelp for Youth Sports. Listen, in our life today, and especially because of social media today, we have the ability to post information. Well, I want our site to be a resource information for both positive reviews and negative reviews. I don't want someone just complaining because their little Bobby, their little Susie didn't get the appropriate amount of playing time. This is youth sports. All the children should listen, learn, and have fun. But if there's something going on that you feel is a poor experience that you want to share your time, your commitment, your experience, well, I want this to have a rating structure so you can put it out there. So I may say, hey, Team Blue is a great team. You might like Team Red. And so now the parents going to have to go through and look and read, well, this Team Blue has been around 10 years. Team Red has been around 2 years. And so now you're going to be able to see the experience from other people, and then you can base your decision on where to put your child that's best for your location, your zip code, and the needs of your child.
Just make sure when you do the site and you list all that stuff, whenever we list the Tampa Bay Jags on there, make sure you don't list all the championships. The page may run out of space.
Yeah, you might have to create a whole nother website for the Tampa Jags. Yeah.
they're going to need a second tab to finish listing all the accomplishments that organization's had. So let's leave that out. But
I'm pretty sure they're going to be appreciative
you
of
bring
it.
up a good point. You bring up a good point because you figure all the sports that are covered across the U.S., football is a predominantly Florida sport, but you may get up to Iowa and some of those northern states that are in the cold most of the time. They're big hockey fans.
Exactly.
They're big. That's what those kids do year round. So being able to kind of appeal to every type of demographic across the U.S. is going to be huge, and for organizations to be able to go in there and update their information. So we just had an athletic director change. We need to change our website information.
Yep.
We need to change our fees. Those things are going to be impactful, so you can go on there and you think about youth sports. The one thing that I strongly believe that doesn't happen often enough in organizations is they don't promote themselves. They don't do any marketing. It's all based on word of mouth. And you think about, I know here locally in Tampa, we got organizations that are merging with each other. And a lot of times it's good organizations, but bad marketing. So kids don't know where they're at. Parents don't know where to find them. And they're forced to shut down and merge with somebody else. And this is going to give those type of organizations the ability to say, hey, we're out here. Go give us a review. Go follow us. And that's going to push organizations to be better. Because, again, now you're on Yelp. As a YSR, you're on that version of Yelp where people are going to leave reviews. So you're that more tied to make sure you deliver a great product because people are going to see about it. People are going to read about it.
And for me, my fault. I didn't mean to interrupt. For me, I love coaching football. That's my number one. I love it. And my son played. Both my boys play. All three of them actually played. But for me, I can go ahead and look up swimming. I can look up something where I can go, you know what, guys, look, we can go to a swim team over here. And let's go try swimming. Let's go try something else. We don't have to just be bottled into, okay, well, we do football every year and that's it. But it shows me, oh, man, you know what? If I try 30 minutes this way, there's a coach who will teach my kid swimming lessons, or there's a coach over here who's going to show him, a little bit of field hockey, which I think Jaden would probably be good in lacrosse. He's one of my bruisers over here, man. So he's the one I got to worry about the most. But I think that just opens up more possibility of kids being able to play different sports than having to be just thought, okay, I'm only going to play football. You know what I mean?
That's all you know.
Awesome.
That's all you know. That's your bubble you stay in.
Yeah.
And for me, the other day, kid you not, we were having this conversation with the wife. We're thinking about putting my daughter in swim.
Right.
She's 4 years old now. We want to start swimming. Yeah. And what does everybody do? Today's environment is let's go on Facebook and let's type up in search of a swimming organization and go. And then look, but again, you're reluctant to the information those people know that they're going to post as well versus, hey, let me just go to ysrusa.com. Let me go on there. Let me find out the information. I can turn my zip code whenever I want to.
Exactly.
At my leisure of it, I get different options. I can call, get the information there, and then be able to make a decision versus depending on what my friends know.
Well, and
which again,
also,
they're going to be limited because they're in the same bubble that we live in.
Right, and also, let's say, a lot of kids, mom and dads don't even stay together. So a lot of times, mom and dad lives in Texas, mom lives in Florida. So and so is going to dad to go live with him for the summer. For the summer, dad, looks up some stuff. You know what? I haven't had my son for 9 months of the year. Let me see what I can do. Oh, you know what? Here's hockey here. There's you know what I'm saying? Lacrosse. There's football. There's basketball. Oh, there's swim. There's other things that he can just look up in an instinct by looking up YSR and just saying, okay, boom, here now I have all these avenues I can bring my son to go do that we can do together.
So Stephen, one thing I want to ask you, where can people go find this site? As far as consumers, how can you go get information about it? And then also, how can youth organizations get listed on the site, and private coaches and trainers and those where can they go find that information to get on the Yelp of youth sports here?
Yeah.
So great question. And so what we're trying to do with our site is to make it easy, simple, and user-friendly. We want technology to be enabling to these programs. So if we can enable them to be efficient, everything is on the website, www.ysrusa.com. If you're a private coach and you want to register as a private coach, there's a submission form. You fill out the information. You can even have the ability to upload a logo or website, put your hours, your bio, submit it. You'll get listed on the private coaching section. And that'll be listed in that specific sport. If you're an organization, let's say, what you guys do with the Jaguars or what you guys do coaching high school football, if you're going to do a specific tournament or camp and you want to get it out there, you're going to be able to go to the site and say, hey, we want to register an event. Is it a tournament? Is it a camp? Is it a clinic? what sport it is, what are the dates or the hours. So you're going to be able to list that, and it's going to get posted on the information. And everything you do is going to have the ability to upload some type of graphical information, whether it be a picture or a logo, as well as contact information. So our site is designed to be user-friendly, and that, again, is www.ysrusa.com.
That's beautiful, man. And again, it's going to change the game. It's going to change everything that we know about youth sports. I'm excited. And you launched July 4th, correct?
Yes, July 4th. The site that's up there right now was in alpha stage, and it's grown tremendously. So thank you for all the people who've given us the support already.
Yeah.
But July 4th is the go-live date with all of the super new tools coming our way.
Well, and I know, like George mentioned earlier, I'm probably going to have to make a separate website of YSR for the Tampa Jags, just so. And again, it is a long list of how many championships is there, but
it's a long list.
But no, man, thank you so much for coming on. And again, man, anytime you want to come back on, promote, or just, I really want to just get you on here to talk to us about some sports in general. Come back anytime, shoot us a text. You got our phone number, and I know I'm gonna push this thing out as much as I can, man, because I'm excited about it. I got to see the website, and it is simple. It's easy to use. Man, when they see this thing July 4th, man, it's going to change the game completely. So I really appreciate you coming on, man.
Thank you, guys. Really do appreciate the time. I really enjoyed it, and super excited to be part of the show, and super excited to have this thing launched on July 4th.
Absolutely, man. Thank you so much, man.
Hey guys, looking for some good barbecue? Check out River City Smokehouse, serving the best Texas-style barbecue in Tampa Bay. Established in 2019, their succulent meats are slow smoked with a combination of hickory, cherry, and pecan wood, mellowed to the peak of flavor. They also ensure their sides will rival your grandmother's Southern soul. Open select weekends. For the latest information on how you can enjoy their tasty queue, log on to their website at www.rivercitysmokehouse.com. You can also like their Facebook page at facebook.com/River City Smokehouse. Finally, for more personal service, you can pre-order by calling 1-855-787-2489. River City Smokehouse. It's flavor beyond relief.
All right, so I'm excited to bring to you here a 5-star kicker from down south. On the show now, we have Andres Borregales. How you doing, sir?
Doing good.
Thank you for coming on, man. We just so you know, man, we were super excited. We love giving kids platforms. We love talking to college commits. It's something we really do. So when we came across, a 5-star kicker, we're like, okay, let's take a look. And I showed George. I said, George, look at this kid's leg right here. This is ridiculous. It has to be robotic. It can't be part of his actual body, is it? And we were taking a look at your videos, man, and we just wanted to tell you thank you for coming on and taking the time to talk to us, bro.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, appreciate it.
And I agree with you. As I was going through Twitter and looking at you, kickers' lives matter. Kickers are people too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
I see that's a hashtag you use all the time. So the first question I got, so what got you into even playing football? Right. How have you been playing football? What kind of got you into it? Talk to us a little bit about it.
So it first started off because right by my house there's a park, and they had a football team there called Doral Broncos. So it was my brother Jose at Miami right now.
Right.
He went to the park one day and he said he wanted to play football, and me being the younger brother, I wanted to do whatever he did, and then we both just ended up playing football there. And then I started when I was 5, and my brother started when he was 10.
Wow. What was this? You started out playing in little league?
Running back.
Yeah,
Running back.
I can't imagine unless you were kicking field goals at 9 years old. You know what I mean? I can't imagine.
I started practicing kicking when I was 6.
Really?
Wow. Yeah.
When did you know that you were going to be like, okay, I can do this for real? Like when you got to be in your teenage?
I started getting really serious with it about 8th grade, because those years up to 8th grade, I was playing football and soccer.
Mm.
So then once 8th grade came in, I just quit soccer and just stuck with football.
That's awesome, man. Because like I said, Little League, down here, over here, at least in Tampa, we don't even attempt the field goal. Like everybody's going for two. Yeah, everybody's going for two. Everybody's going for one. We don't even attempt trying to teach kicking. So I couldn't imagine having a kid like your talent at 6 years old that could possibly kick field goals. I would have really tried to do this at 8 years old. I used to be a peewee coach, man. So I used to coach 8-year-olds, and they came and rushed to kick. So I used to imagine having a guy like you, like, God, I wish I had one kid that could kick. I just want one kid that could kick, man. What's the furthest you kicked in those ages, like 6 to 9?
I know I struggled. I struggled for like 3 years straight. Just couldn't get past 30.
Still 30 yards.
Bro, did you say I was struggling with 30 yards? I struggled with the kid kicking the ball and hitting off the back of my other lineman that are in front of him, man.
just getting it off the tee.
Oh, my gosh. That's awesome, man. That's awesome. I'm gonna jump around here a little bit, but what are you looking forward to going to the Miami Hurricanes? Because, again, I told you before the show.
Cane, that's special.
That is something that a lot of people, wish they can do. I don't care if they go to different colleges right now. They wish they could throw up to you. Okay, it's something that's like a brotherhood. You know what I mean? So what does that mean to you going there and then being with your older brother, Jose?
It means a lot because ever since I was little. And even my dad, ever since he was little, he was always a big fan.
Oh, good.
And I grew up being a fan, so it's like a dream come true.
Absolutely, man. I can imagine being mentioned with all the greats, all the great Miami Hurricanes. You're gonna be on a 30 for 30 one day, bro. Like, you're gonna be on one, man.
So, talk to me a little about your favorite kick. What was your favorite kick so far before you get into your senior season here? What's been your favorite kick, one you enjoyed the most that you'll never forget?
Probably had to be my 57 against Central this year.
Oh, Central.
Wow.
Yeah. So walk us through the situation here. What happened?
So like before the game, everyone was saying that we were gonna get blown out. And like I think before that kick, I think it was tied. I think it was 0-0. It was leading into halftime. And my head coach, Coach Jones, he has a lot of trust in me. So
I would imagine so.
Yeah, I think it was like 4th and 6, 4th and 5, something like that. And then he asked me, I was like, you want to go for it? And I was pumped up. I had adrenaline running, everything.
You were ready to go.
And then I was like, let's do it. Plus, since I already kicked that 56 against Pahokee, I had a lot of confidence in me. Right. So just went out there and then kicked it, watched it go in. And I mean, I've got friends that go to Central, but I've always had some like rivalry against them since I went to Booker T my freshman and sophomore year.
Right.
So already now I was talking crap, just looking at their sideline, throwing the Rockets down and all that. So
and you made the kick by a mile because it's on your huddle. And I was going through the huddle and I actually saw that kick. And I mean, you had at least another 10 yards on that kick before it was even close.
I think it would have been good from like 60, 61, maybe.
Man.
Wow. Speaking of 60s, we're talking big boy numbers, okay? We're talking big boy numbers. I'm gonna share my screen here with you because I wanna just talk about a few clips I see here, bro. When I saw this on YouTube, okay, and first of all, looking at this video, I don't believe you're 5'11". How tall are you?
I mean, in that video, I was 5'11".
Okay. I
think now I haven't really like measured, but I'm probably like 6. Maybe 6'1".
Right, so you got like quarantine tall, huh? You got like
that's right,
COVID tall. Okay, so but I'm looking at this kick, man. I was looking at all these markers. I told George when he kicked this, the only person I felt bad on the for this video was the guy that's behind the field goal that's got to bring the ball back, like that guy that's all the way back there. Like, oh, this sucks. I got to throw it 70 yards, but there has to be a relay man. But look at this kick, man. Look at the form. I mean, what's going through your head? I mean, this is great. Look at this freaking bomb.
That's easy. That's easy. He knew it was good as soon as it left.
Right.
Yeah. Yep.
He's like, yep, I did. What are some of the forms and techniques or things that you have to do to continuously kick like this? You know what I mean? I could imagine that it's hours spent, right?
Years.
Yeah.
You can't, like, I'm not perfect in my technique. I still have some things I got to touch up on, but it still takes a lot of time to get the technique going to where it's just muscle memory. So you're doing the same thing, kick after kick after kick. So it takes a lot of like mental strength to really be like technically sound with it.
Right.
So
That's what I mean. It's just amazing. And then we saw this, the punt here
Oh,
for
yeah, the
42
punt.
yards, 4.3 hang time. Jesus, that's
I don't
amazing.
even like punting. That's the funny part.
What's that?
I don't like punting.
You don't like to do
You don't like
this,
punting.
bro? This is $40 million. What do you mean? This is $40 million to kick it, and maybe keep it away from people that run kicks.
Yeah.
I mean, let me ask you: when you kick off like this, I don't imagine anybody returning the kick. Do they? Do they return the kick on you?
Nah, touchback in high school is 60, I think. Yeah, 60.
Yeah, so you're kicking it out the back of the end zone anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so why did even 11 guys even show up on the field? You know what I mean?
Just let you got there by yourself.
Yeah, hold on, Andres is going out there. Yeah, don't go out there. We can get.
Imagine being on that kickoff team.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't have to run.
I just got to sprint these 10
Lane
yards.
integrity?
Yeah, like
lane integrity doesn't matter.
Right.
He's going to go out the end zone.
What did they tell the coach? Like the coach, make sure you stay in your lane. Why? It's going out the back of the end zone. I'm gonna give a great 10 yards here, and that's pretty much it.
Now, have you ever had someone try to return it? Like actually return it?
Yeah.
Really?
Now, I was looking at your stats
Yeah.
and a couple of your measurables, and I saw your 40 time, and that's a little you're underestimated there with your speed. You're right. You got clocked in at a 4.96.
Oh, that was freshman year.
That was your freshman
Oh
year.
my gosh. We apologize. What is the senior time? What are we running now, buddy?
I haven't really clocked my 40, but a lot of people say that I'm probably like at like a 4.7 maybe.
Please tell me you've hawked someone down.
Yeah.
Please tell me it's happened.
In high school, I have 4 tackles.
Oh,
Really?
you got to tell me about them.
Is that on the huddle?
Tell me about them.
They're all on kickoffs. It was my freshman and sophomore year because I wasn't as consistent in kickoffs yet.
Mm-hmm.
So like sometimes my kickoff like return team, they'll just think it's going inside the end zone. The next thing you know, it lands at like the 2, and then they gotta actually pay attention.
Run. They got to actually go.
Wait. It's short. It went short.
Yeah.
I didn't sign up for this. I didn't sign up for this.
So he was just coming down the sideline, and what I always do, I just go straight for the knees, just run, just hit him.
Take him out. Take him out.
Yeah.
To make him flip or something. And then he just came in. It was on our sideline too, so just came in, hit him in the knees, make him do a little flip, and I just got up like it was nothing.
Man, it's got to be exciting as a player on the. I used to play in college, and it was exciting to see even a kicker go down there and make a tackle. Like you get pumped. It's almost like a quarterback running and trying to truck somebody over. Seeing the kicker just blast somebody is freaking. You just get pumped like, oh God, our whole team is jacked.
A lot of people think that just because I'm a kicker, I don't know how to tackle. Like
Right. That's what I'm saying. He comes with that stigma.
Kickers are athletes. Kickers are athletes.
Yeah.
My favorite video is watching Pat McAfee from the Indianapolis Colts when he was a punter for them. Just destroy people.
Yep.
Just destroy people on the sideline. Now you're going to the U.
Yeah.
I know your brother's there, so you can't pick your brother. Nobody asked you. Who is your all-time favorite Hurricane?
Oh yeah.
And why?
Ooh.
It's a good one, man.
Can't pick
many.
Your brother now. Can't pick your brother. There's so many great ones. Hall of Famer. You can create an all-22 team of just Hall of Famers.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
It's probably has the usual Ray Lewis.
Yeah. Right.
Why?
That's my favorite. I just like his mindset on how he goes with everything in life.
Right.
Like he's never negative. He's always positive. Always tries to pump himself up.
Right.
And that's one thing I like about him.
I'm gonna jump in there, man. Since I'm a Hurricane guy, my all-time favorite is Ed Reed, man. I mean, I just liked. I mean, watching the 30 for 30 because you don't get to see the locker room, when they're mic'd up or whatever the case was. I've always liked him when I was young enough, and back in my heyday, hate to sound like I'm old, but in my heyday, we used to, that's who I wanted to play like. That's who I wanted to be like. That's who I wanted to hit like every Saturday. I never missed a game. I wanted to be like Ed Reed. So he was great too. And it's good to even say that you say Ray Lewis, man, because they're best friends. So I'm telling you, Andres, this is great between me and you. You're Ray Lewis. I'm Ed Reed. We're in there, buddy. We're locked in for life now. Okay. My other thing to you is your major, man. What are you going to major in? And why are you going to major?
I'm probably going to major in sports management.
Okay.
Because one, I just want to stay like in the sports world.
Right.
And second, I would like to be like a coach or something like that, just to give back what I've learned,
Man,
especially
that's awesome.
to like younger kickers trying to like make it big. So.
Well, when you get done with school and your career and you want to give back, come back to Tampa and help me train other kickers, because I need to teach. That's the one thing I can't teach, is how to tell somebody how to kick a ball. You know what I mean? That's the only problem I'm having. With you having this kicking game, though, do you work on a lot of onside kicks as well? Because I know you got the deep game. Clearly you can kick it wherever you want to on the field. You can put it in the corner. Do you work on onside kicks? Because I can imagine that's going to be huge as you go on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. How long do you spend working on it? And what have you found as far as the techniques that are some kickers don't do that you need to do, or whatever the case may be?
For onside kicks, I usually just do normal field goal steps.
Really?
And I honestly don't really think about it. I just pretty much just hit like the top quarter of the ball.
Right.
So you can just hit and bounce. So
you can get a good, and that's what I'm saying. It's hard, man. I have to admit something stupid here. I've tried to teach 13-year-old, 14-year-old kids how to do this. And in doing so, I almost broke my damn toe kicking the ball with the quarter because I drive too hard on top of it and almost drove right to the ground and almost broke my foot, man. It was ridiculous. That's how I knew I got to stay away. I'm never going to coach this position ever.
So as you get ready to go to Miami here in a year after your senior year is over, what is one game that you're like, man, if I can kick in a game, this is the game I want to kick in?
Yeah. What are you looking forward to?
FSU.
I knew it. I knew it.
He immediately knew it.
I knew it.
That's the game.
Oh my gosh, bro! And FSU with their history, they're going to either go left or right. They're never going to go down the middle.
Never down the middle.
Yeah. And we got Andreas and Jose, so we're good. That's a game winner right there, man. That's awesome, man.
Cool is about playing with your brother, because that's got to be pretty cool that you're going up there now. Yeah. You get to play with him there. So talk a little about that.
I mean, I'm not going to be able to play with him. He's a 5th-year senior.
Oh,
so
okay.
He leaves and then I go in. So
okay, but I'm sure it's the setup for you to. Hey, bro, let me tell you about University of Miami. That's awesome.
He's like my inside man, telling me
what
to look out for.
Let me ask you this also, man. So, I'm not even asking. I'm going to put a statement out there just so you know. Me and George, we were talking about it, and looking at how far you can kick a field goal, man. You know you're like a freaking coach's dream, right? Like we don't have to call the greatest play ever. As long as all I have to do is get to the 35. If I get to the 35, 40, we're good to go.
Get to the 45 and you're good. That's 52 yards from there. That's easy money.
That's all we're doing. Then we're just asking which hash do you want to be on? Do you want to be on the left hash? You want to be on the right hash? It's up to Andreas. It's a 65-yarder. You're a freaking coach's dream, man. Hey, on the show, man, we like to do this game, right? We have this game called This and That, okay? This and That is just a series of questions that we ask. We keep these from you. There's nothing bad, just comparisons of what you would like to do. But we like to play this game with a lot of the commits and high school kids, just to put them on the spot and get a couple feel of who they are and where they're coming from. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All right, George so got your questions for you.
The very first one. Tom Brady or Peyton Manning?
Peyton Manning.
Ooh. Man. Yeah. Here's a good one. Michael Jordan or LeBron?
LeBron.
Oh. Really? Is it just a generation thing or what? Did you not watch the documentary?
I did. Yeah. I did, but I'm stick with LeBron.
That's cool, man. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. All right. If you have one free throw,
right,
and you make it, you get $1 million. But if you miss it, you can never send a text message again.
Ooh.
Do you take the shot?
Ooh. You taking the shot?
Taking a shot.
Yeah.
That confident, huh?
You got to take risks sometimes.
Yeah, man.
It's true.
So you're okay with bucks. Yeah, you're okay with missing then. You don't text that much. You're not a texter.
Nah.
So you're good to go either way. It's a win-win for him.
Yeah, good.
All right, when you're eating food, are you a blue cheese guy or ranch?
What do you like with the wings? Ranch. Wow, that's not bad.
My man. Favorite animal, dogs or cats?
Dogs.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a good kid. You're a good kid. I'm allergic to cats.
I just never liked cats.
Never liked it. I got two more for you. Instagram stories or Snapchat?
So that's a tough question. Not LeBron and MJ. That's a tough question for
you. LeBron. Snapchat or Instagram? He's like, I gotta think about it.
Yeah,
right.
It's Instagram. I'm going with Instagram.
Okay.
Instagram.
Wow.
Okay.
You were almost stumped on that one, bro.
Recently we had PS5 got announced. It's coming out.
Yep.
Are you an Xbox or PS5 guy?
PS5. I got a PS4 right now, so I gotta
There you go.
Yeah, I've been eyeing that thing. I gotta grab me one too, man.
Yeah.
And then the last question we like to ask all of our players that are on, because we've been hearing some crazy superstitions before game day.
Yep.
And I can only imagine you being a kicker. I'm going to ask you two of them. One, do you have a pregame superstition?
Mm-hmm.
And then two, do you have a kick superstition, like before a kick, a big kick? Is there something you do each time, or before, maybe it's before every kick, you do something each time? So walk us through, but pregame first.
Okay, so pregame, I gotta always, cause I always wear a sleeve, so on my left arm. So before the game starts, I'll always have it like rolled up, rolled down to a specific length.
Mm-hmm.
And if it goes past that and I don't notice it, I'm gonna like, it feels weird. That's my pregame one. I also got to get my right wrist taped.
Really?
Yeah, it's Miami swag.
Bro, trust me, that's good.
You
That's
wouldn't
good.
understand. You wouldn't understand.
Yeah, I
Miami
don't.
thing.
You Tampa guys don't know what this is.
And then like in game, I have for kickoffs, I like kiss my cleats.
Mm-hmm.
So I like put the ball down and then just tap my cleats.
That's awesome, man.
For field goal, whenever I'm about to take my steps, I always touch my holder on his left shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
And then I take my steps from there. And then once I'm back, I got to always take a deep breath so then I could just calm down.
I saw on the when you kick off, right before you kick off, you do like a little twitch with your shoulders. Like you do
that's just to keep my body from, well, pretty much just keeping my shoulders like straight to where I want the ball to go.
Oh, okay. I thought it was one of those Kevin Durant things. 'Cause you know when Kevin Durant, he does when he gets ready to shoot his free throws, he does that little shimmy, a little. That's awesome, man. Look, man, we don't want to take too much of your time. We know you're busy, man. We really appreciate you coming onto the show. Again, man, you are always more than welcome. You hit us up on Twitter like you always do, man. Just say what's up, and trust me, I tell you, you want to do an interview at 2 o'clock in the morning, you and your buddies in Miami, you got it. You got it, man. We fire this thing up, and we got you guys, okay?
And congratulations on going to the U.
Absolutely.
Best of luck, and we're definitely going to follow you throughout the career, man. Big shout out to you and your brother for doing great things. I know your family's got to be proud of you and your brother for all the great things you guys are doing, man. So keep it up.
Absolutely, man.
Appreciate it.
Well, man, that's all the time we got. I want to thank both of our guests, Steve Costa, for coming on and talking about YSR. That website is going to, it's going to change everything with youth sports. It's going to blow up. That thing's going to be beautiful. Thank you to our 5-star kicker down in Miami. You know I love it, man. I love another commit to the U. Mr. Andres, man, I thank you so much for joining us on the show. All you On the Clock fans, I hope you loved it. George, what do you think, man? How do you feel about today?
It was a great show. Thank you, everybody, for joining. If you're interested in advertising on the show, send us an email on ontheclock20@gmail.com. Otherwise, if you like today's podcast, hit subscribe. You can also find us on iTunes, Spotify, and iHeartRadio by simply searching On the Clock. Until next time, you're on the clock.